told you today we need to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
They averaged 18.8 points per game. I know defense wins championships. That's an old cliche. Go look at the top scoring teams in the NFL from last year. Detroit, Buffalo, Kansas City, Philadelphia, the elite of the elite. They score 33. We scored 18.8. We had 34 touchdowns a year ago, Brent. 34. This kid scored 29 rushing for Boise State.
Well, the top 6 rushing teams in the National Football League also made the playoffs. So if you run it, you have a lot of success. Well, what about one of the best running backs to ever play here?
Okay.
Well, we had Maurice Jones-Drew on the show earlier this week. Here's what he had to say about Ashton Jeanty.
I think the biggest thing when you talk about Ashton Jeanty is his contact balance, right? His ability to run through a guy or break tackles and then be able to take it the distance. And so being able to see him break tackles against Oregon and some of the Penn State, as well as some of these other schools that he played, that was awesome. But it's the ability to take it 90 yards, 80 yards to the house, right? And so having that type of threat in the backfield not only helps your quarterback out, helps out your passing game, helps out your defense. To me, I see it. I understand. You know, we've heard the Jags the last couple months talk about how important the run game is to Trevor Lawrence, and that's the one emphasis they want to get going is fixing this run game up and making sure that you can do it. And then obviously see where Liam Cohen came from Tampa. Putting that type of caliber, a piece behind Trevor Lawrence, to pair with ETN and Bigsby is going to be huge. Right now you have 3 guys. Everyone's rested. I get it. Some guys are going to want their money, understandably so. But this is going to give you an opportunity to be fresh when the defense is tired late in games and give you a chance to really, wear teams out.
All right. So
by the way, one thing Mojo's wrong about. They're not keeping 3 running backs. If they draft Ashton Jeanty,
Travis Etienne's on the block, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you fill those roles?
You can't.
Right?
I mean,
Etienne will ask for a trade, wouldn't he?
For sure. Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, you can't.
One other thing about the running back situation I thought of in the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. If you think of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you've been around this thing since day one.
Right.
The position you actually think about is running back, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, more than any other position.
Absolutely.
We've had good centers. The defenses have been good at times. I mean, good linebackers, good players. Mm-hmm. There have been. You can make a case for other positions. But if you think about the Jags, you think Fred Taylor, you think Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yep.
You go back, you think James Stewart.
Yeah.
And you go think Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but will you draft a third first-round running back in the last, 7 years? Because you had Fournette, you had Travis Etienne, and now you could have Jeanty.
I thought there was an interesting point that I heard from one of our old players, Dave Weidel. And he told me this. He said, it's time for Tony Baselli to, put his stamp on this program. So I immediately thought, okay, he's going to tell us to pick an offensive lineman. And he said, and that's not what he said. He said, when I was with Dallas, we had 2A, we had Nate Newton, we had guys, and they told us our offensive line, he used the word, bad word, stink. Mm-hmm. And then we got Emmett. He was great. Yeah. We were a great offensive line. Then I went to Denver. And we had Zimmerman, we had Lanier, and we stunk. And then we got Terrell Davis. And he said, even here, we had 2 good running backs, James Stewart and Natron Means. But then we got Freddie T. And the offensive line gets a whole lot better. So a running back can also make the offensive line look much better.
Yeah, and a lot of people miss that point.
Yes.
It can also make them look worse.
Yes.
Right? Titans are on the clock.
Titans are on the clock.
The draft is underway. And
they don't need to take 10 minutes.
No,
go up there. They take
the
a Cam Ward.
Take 8. Hey, let's talk about Jalen Walker. This is an interesting one. This actually picked up steam, and I don't mind this one. I like Jalen Walker. I think he's an interesting chess piece for Anthony Campanelli's defense.
Okay.
But do you take him at number 5? He's kind of undersized. He's 6'1", 243 pounds.
Yeah.
Where do you exactly play him? But the Jags, Dan, one of the most least talked about problems of the Jags is they don't have enough edge help. They have Trayvon and Josh Hines-Allen. They got nothing after it.
And it's been that way for 3 years. Here's the thing, though. We're almost wasting time because it ain't going to be Jalen Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us think that, right? At this point, the way things have unfolded this afternoon into
he's
tonight.
Now plus 1,800 in Vegas.
Yesterday might have been a different story. But today, as things unfold and we know what's happening to a point, we think the Jags want to make a huge splash. The GM just said we're looking for fireworks. I think it's not going to be him.
It's probably not happening. And former Jags player, played on the defensive side of the ball, Austin Lane, would hate it if it happened. But I made him talk about it anyway.
Okay,
so let's bring in Austin Lane
and
see what he has to say about Jalen Walker. He was not a fan of this happening at number 5.
All right. He looks happy.
All right, let's talk about the linebacker from Georgia. Let's talk about Jalen Walker. Ironically, shares a lot in common with Trayvon Walker. Not necessarily the size, but the usage. You talk about two guys who are used all around that Georgia defense. When we talk about Jalen Walker, he was a linebacker. He was an edge. He may have rushed in the middle a little bit. He was all over the place. But the biggest thing going forward is how does Jacksonville plan to use Jalen Walker? If you look at what Vic Fangio did with Nolan Smith, another Georgia Bulldog, he was primarily a pass rush specialist and then brought in base packers every once in a while at linebacker. The biggest question with Jalen Walker is can you afford to take somebody number 5 overall and use him in sub packages, or do you want more bang for your buck, kind of like a Mason Graham or maybe even Ashton Jeanty? The biggest thing with Jalen Walker going forward is he's going to be on the edge. But how do the Jacksonville Jaguars utilize him with guys like Joshua Hines down and Trayvon Walker as well? My guess, you probably got to bump Trayvon Walker down. For Action Sports Jacks, I'm Austin Lane.
All right, so what about Travis Hunter now?
Yes.
Listen, you want to know the story name of this topic?
What?
It says no chance on Hunter.
That's what we
Because for the
originally
last
thought.
10 days,
Yeah.
there's really been no chance, it seems like. Maybe 2 weeks. Everybody's like, hey, he's going, number 2. That hasn't been the whole draft process. There's still been an outside chance at number 5, maybe,
Right.
or 4 the Jags could get him. There's no chance now. He's going number 2. He's not even slipping past number 2. It's just a matter of, is somebody going to trade up and get him at number 2? Well, hot rumors all evening, all afternoon.
Right.
Gurley going back to last night, give Ian Rappaport credit. He actually threw it out there. He couched it too, but he threw it out there. Jags might be interested in going up to get Travis Hunter at number 2. Are they going to be that bold, Dan?
Well, Jay Glazer is reporting the Jags and Browns have parameters in place for a deal when Cam Ward goes to the Titans. So
Let me ask you this. This is what's interesting to hear is why are they waiting? Like, we already know Cam Ward's going to the Titans, but I guess
Maybe
you have
just
to
in
make
case.
it just in case.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be
that'd be a
an
disaster.
epic disaster, right?
Yeah.
So you have to make sure they don't pick him.
Right.
So
right.
Okay, that makes sense.
But whoa, timeout. Whoa, you want to talk about a splash?
Well, I mean, it's if they go get Travis Hunter, it might be the biggest splash in Jaguars draft history.
It very well could be.
You know better than me. Am I being too dramatic?
Well, Trevor.
Yeah, it's not a splash. They didn't move up to get him.
We knew
they
we were going to
earned the
get
number
him.
1 spot.
Yeah, we knew they were going to
guys
get
that they moved up for are like Blaine Gabbert from 16 to 10, right?
We don't have a great draft record, so
No, but you still have to have conviction to go move ahead and
Yes.
give stuff away.
Yes.
So, like, it's okay. I always say this about Gabbert. It's like you were convicted to go get him. You were wrong.
Right.
But you were convicted.
Right.
They are going to, if they go get Travis Hunter, they're going to be convicted that
Right.
he is a superstar guy for them.
Because you're giving up. Listen, we're going to find out, but they're giving up another first-round pick at least, and more than that.
Third rounder, maybe
Yes.
even a fourth rounder.
Yes.
They're giving up capital.
Yes.
And GMs don't like giving up capital.
No, and James Gladstone doesn't like giving up capital. So that tells you how much they believe in Travis Hunter. There are a lot of positives with Travis Hunter, even off the field. Let's talk. I mean, be honest. Travis Hunter is like I said, he's the superstar of the draft. You add him to this franchise, which doesn't have near enough superstars. And boy, oh boy, all eyes are on Jacksonville.
Well, the Jags just tweeted, by the way, about 19 minutes ago, last chance to drop your predictions. Well, we still got 45 minutes if you're not going to get on the clock soon.
Yeah, he might have slipped up there.
Yeah. Maybe not last chance. Anyway, we monitor that right now. We think the Jags are picking number 5 overall, but what about number 2? Could they slide up there in the next couple minutes? We could have some breaking news if that's the case. I do think it's interesting that a lot of the national reporters have been able to have some of that intel, and the Titans pick is in.
Okay.
So this could happen any moment. So before that happens, let's talk about Ty Warren.
Okay.
This is a guy that, again, if you want to label the players on the draft board,
Yes.
he would be top 6, 7 players in this draft,
Yeah.
but his tight end too high at number 5.
Yes. But if you traded back, I would be very interested in him. I like him a lot. I think he's going to help a team, and I hope he doesn't go to the Colts, for example. But we shall wait and see. But, yeah, he is kind of baby Gronk-esque is how I would describe him. Yeah, I think he's going to be I think him and the kid from Michigan are going to be 2 very good tight ends along the lines of T.J. Hawkinson, some of those Iowa guys going forward.
Okay.
So I would be. But look, again, I think at this point in time, right before the draft, we are in the mode of we're getting Travis Hunter or we're going to get Ashton Jeanty at 5.
Not bad.
That's kind of how I'm looking at it right now.
I would think that would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the brass. These guys making decisions. We already know who they are. We're trying to keep an eye. Hey, this is what the fun part of this. You're watching side by side as we're watching as well. So let us know if anything happens. And engage with us on social media. And we want your instant reactions, and we'll get to that all night long. But there it is. There's the brass. These are the ones making the decision. Shad Khan, you know, is a bold guy.
Right.
James Gladstone wants to be bold. How bold or conservative will Tony Baselli and Liam Cohen want to be? What are those conversations like?
Mary Kay Cabot, who's covered the Cleveland Browns, gosh, maybe as long as I've covered the Jaguars, says Browns in heated talks to trade down from 2 with the Jags to 5. When they're on the clock, I believe this will happen. I don't believe the Browns would trade away from Travis Hunter unless they get an extra first-rounder in return. Well, I agree with Mary Kay.
Well, no doubt.
Yeah, so we're just awaiting now. Do we have Cam Ward confirmed to Tennessee?
The pick was
is in,
but
Cam Ward.
It was Cam Ward.
Okay, so
now you can make the trade if you want to.
Yes, so Cam Ward has been chosen, which everybody knew, and so now Goodell can go up and announce if there is a trade.
All right, so I still think that's maybe a couple of moments away. Liv, let's do this. Let's hear a little bit from Tony Baselli today.
Okay.
And then on the other side of this, we could have breaking news.
Yeah.
So we'll know a little bit more, right?
Yes.
There's a 10-minute window here to figure out, can they get a deal done or not? And could the Jags go on the clock? Or the Cleveland Browns going to pick Travis Hunter with that number 2 pick? Or does somebody else trade up and get him? But let's hear from Tony Baselli. Earlier today, we had a chance to catch up with him on the Brent and Austin show as he stopped by the EVP of the Jags. Do you look at this weekend and say, man, we got to fix something? I think you guys have a hole at number 2 wide receiver spot. I'm not sure who's next to Brian Thomas Jr. Somebody else might say, hey, need a little more help at defensive interior. Do you guys have some spots? Did you do enough in free agency? Or do you have to get some impact guys in these first 90 picks or so? Well, guess what? We do have breaking news. We'll get to more Baselli a little bit later on. The Jaguars are doing it.
It's a splash.
You talk about being bold. They are going to do it. Heard about it this afternoon.
Fireworks.
Yeah, where are the fireworks? Boom. They are going to trade up and get Travis Hunter with a second pick. How much is it going to cost them? Holy cow, Dan.
That's the question.
Here's the thing. I love this, but
Yeah.
I'm in the media.
Yeah.
You know, I love the idea of this. We love the big news of it.
Yeah.
I love Travis Hunter, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic. Here's the thing. When they get Travis Hunter in a couple of minutes, I can't believe they would trade up for Abdul Carter here, by the way. But if they get Travis Hunter, are they playing him on offense more than defense?
Yes.
Got to be, right?
Yeah, I think you – and again, I know this. I know that the Jaguar brass views him as the best receiver in the class and the best corner in the class. His comp as a corner is Champ Bailey. His comp as a receiver is Justin Jefferson. I mean, these are Hall of Fame guys at both positions. How they use him, what he's able to do now. Again, and here's something else. There's a confidence with Liam Cohen. Again, now, like we asked BTJ earlier, here's Hunter. And here's BTJ.
Yeah.
Wow.
We asked him that. And maybe we'll play that back a little bit.
You can tell me all you want about how much you love De'Ami Brown and Parker Washington. That's fine, but give me those 2 guys and let's see what we got.
Hey, Liv.
And obviously that's going to happen.
We'll make sure, by the way, that we get a lot of reaction from the Lemon Bar, and they're ready to roll here a little earlier than anticipated. So
Here it is from Schefter. Browns are trading the number 2 overall pick, a 4th-round pick, 104, and a 6th-round, 200 to the Jags. Jags are trading number 5 overall pick, a 2nd-round pick, number 36, gone. Okay. A 4th-round pick, 126, and next year's number 1.
Okay, so let's digest this.
Okay, let's go over it again.
Do it again.
All right. So the Browns are giving us Travis Hunter. We're getting a 4th-round pick, 104, and a 6th-round pick, 200. All right? That's what we got for tonight.
So we got a 4th rounder
this weekend, yes.
So we get a
4th and a 6th.
We improved the 4th round that we're about to give away
we just lost
the 2nd round.
36 and 5, obviously, and next year's first rounder. And, like you said, we improved the 4th rounder. We flip-flopped 4th-round picks. So they have room to trade back up if they want to. In other words, right, because we don't have 36, but we have 2/3, 2/4 still?
2/3 now, 2/4, and it's a higher 4th. It was 126. It's 104
So there is still some maneuverability there
to get into the 2nd round.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Okay, so, and the pick is in. They're rushing to the table.
Yeah, they're hammering it.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to hear this anywhere?
Pick is not in yet, but it will be Travis Hunter. There's a huge trade. We had to give up a lot.
Now the pick is in. Now the pick is in.
All right. We didn't jump the gun. We were just first.
Yeah.
Pick is in.
Pick is in. As we first told you.
Yeah, as we told you seconds ago, the pick is in. Wow.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That is.
Let's listen to the lemon bar, Liv.
They're going to go crazy. Let us know when he gets up there, walks up there.
We are truly letting it breathe this time.
Yes, yes we are.
Great crowd, by the way, over there at the left. This is going to be fun to watch.
Yes.
You win the night, Dan. I don't know if you win it at the end of the day, but you win the night.
You win the night.
The Jags won the day. They were the talk of the league all day
All
today.
day.
This is fun. I don't know if it's right, but it's fun.
If he's everything they say he is, it's worth it.
Absolutely. And that's what I would say. If you have him high enough on the board, why not? All right, so Goodell's walking up, ready to make the announcement here. So
we let it breathe.
We did. I don't think there are fireworks at the stadium tonight.
No fireworks.
Here we go. Eric Armstead's announcing the pick. Walter Payton Man of the Year Award winner.
Take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place. As we remember, Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own. Thank you. We have a tree.
Really?
Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis.
There it is. Somebody they know.
Boy, they are squeezed in there at the 11 bar.
Yeah. Somebody they know. You wanted bold. You just got bold. I tell you what, man. The GM's got a set of cojones. That's a big trade. That's a lot to give up. They're telling me, I'm reading on Twitter, that by value, the Jaguars gave up a little bit more
to get him,
which than normal. But there it is. You just got somebody that they coveted, somebody that they think is unbelievably good as a receiver and as a corner, somebody that wants to play both ways. I don't think he can play every snap in the NFL.
No.
But it will be interesting to see how it all shakes out and how they will use him. I do like the group that will be coaching him. So I think there'll be a little tug of war over this kid, quite frankly, for offense and defense. Yeah.
Let's keep this up, Liv. I like this, giving a look at the lemon bar, along with more on Travis Hunter as well, and just give you an idea what this kid's all about. I mean, look, 25 offensive touchdowns, 9 career interceptions. He's a big play waiting to happen.
He's a big play. He's a superstar. He's a big playmaker. You want to talk about intangibly rich? He's a great kid, right? He is a great kid.
Humble kid.
Very humble. So a lot of positives about Travis Hunter. Fun-loving. Loves the game. Wants to play every play. Never wants to come out. I mean, So, yes, everything that the Jaguars probably could want. It's bold. It's brash. We'll see if it works out. They say even if the Jags were to win the Super Bowl, Cleveland would win the trade based on. Now, if the Jags win the Super Bowl, I don't care.
Cares?
Jacksonville won the trade. So, but it's a lot to give up.
That's an interesting way to put it in perspective, right? I mean, you win a Super Bowl and still Cleveland wins the trade.
Right.
But listen, this is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a first-year GM,
yes,
a first-year head coach, a first-time EVP,
yes,
and Shad Khan hands the reins to him and says, "Hey, you can mortgage the future a little bit.
Oh, no,
not all the time, but a little bit."
Shad Khan is doing cartwheels.
Yes,
because listen, part of the business part of the NFL, he just hit a grand slam home run.
Absolutely,
he's got the most well-known person in the draft. Right? He's got a superstar. When they open this shop, which is right down here, I don't know when, with the
probably tomorrow,
with the number 12 jersey that they're printing like crazy right now, it'll be off the charts.
There's a lot of different. We're going to head over to Lemon Bar in just a couple of minutes, not right now, but just a couple of things to digest here.
Yeah.
Obviously, the enormity of the trade. Obviously, the bold move, the guts, like you said, to go make this move, to go get their guy. But I think they just got the best player in the draft.
Yes.
Now, I'm not the guy that's going to say
that's what everybody
thinks.
But
if he's the best player in the draft, you just got the best player in the draft, and you didn't have the number 1 overall pick, and it cost you a little bit to do business, but you said, we want a blue chip player.
Yeah.
There's another element to this. We asked Brian Thomas Jr. earlier, we'll probably replay that a little bit later on here on our reaction show now. This was a preview show. Now it's a reaction show for the rest of the way. But seriously, you put Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter together, not only what does that do for Brian Thomas Jr., what does that do for your offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen?
Yeah.
What does that do for opposing defenses?
Yes.
What does it do for Trevor Lawrence?
Yes.
Don't miss that part of it.
You want to talk about speed on a football field now? Because you got that De'Ami Brown kid who can, run little crossers and is fast as heck. You got BTJ, you got Travis Hunter. I mean, now, listen, you heard Tony. Tony told you guys this morning, we've done a lot to our offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't know how much better it's going to be. We'll find that out. I've learned one thing about Jacksonville fans. They're never happy with the offensive line.
No, it's not just Jacksonville.
No, it's one thing I've learned. Again, if I look back at last year, we gave up 32 sacks, which was like 25th in the league. It was fine, right? It was good.
Yeah.
So we averaged 4.2 yards per carry, which was middle of the pack. So, it wasn't like it was a terrible offensive line, and they've added to it. Now, have they done enough? I don't think so. There's a lot to do, but Boy, you want to talk about a difference maker. They just got a difference maker.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
And how do they use him? We're going to have to go back to my interview with Liam Cohen, and we'll get a longer piece of that sound reaction because we asked him about a month ago at the owners' meetings how they will use him.
I'm being told his reaction was a lot different than C.J. Henderson, so that's good. Hopefully good news there. We didn't see it because we're on the air here, but I understand that Travis Hunter was he all smiling and happy and excited, dancing? Okay, Marcel says he was dancing.
He said today, by the way, pre-draft, he said, listen, if you don't take me, you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, the Jags obviously didn't have the luxury of waiting to see if he dropped.
Yeah.
They go up and get him. So did the Browns just make a mistake?
Right.
Or did the Jags by giving up a little bit too much? Who knows?
You know what's going to be interesting, too? Where Ashton Jeanty winds up now.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Browns, Abdul Carter just went to the Giants, as expected.
So this is falling in order player-wise.
The Browns may take, and this would be interesting, because they've had Mason Graham in for a visit. So the Browns may take Mason Graham. So, and by the way, when Gladstone and Cohen and Baselli aren't talking till a little bit later, right, tonight?
That's the plan. Maybe we'll get him out here a little earlier.
Yeah. So.
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah.
We will hear from Travis Hunter. He'll have a conference call at the very least, and so we'll definitely hear from him at some point over the next couple of hours. Let's go out to the Lemon Bar right now. Madison has been hanging out there. We saw the live reaction. Obviously an excited crowd. And
there she
all
is.
right, Madison, gave us a sense of that reaction when Travis Hunter not only was taken, but the trade was made.
I mean, I don't know if anyone really saw this coming, to be honest with you, but when I tell you this crowd erupted out here, it was like nothing like I've ever seen. And when I tell you they are just so thrilled to have such a great guy on their team now, and that's all they've been talking about is Travis Hunter for the last few minutes now, and I think they're just starting to settle down behind me, but you can just tell they're just excited to get both an offensive and a defensive player. I mean, he was coached by Prime Time, so we're really excited to see what Travis would do.
Yeah, I mean, now is everybody going to stay around and party a little bit over there, Madison, or what? Or are they done? I mean, you never know. They don't tell them to leave just yet. You never know.
I don't think they're going anywhere from what I've seen, to be honest with you. They'll be here for a while.
The night is still young. All right, we'll check back in with you in a little bit, Madison. Thank you. And we'll see Madison on 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock on Action News Jax as well. Let's go back inside our studio right now. And I think we have Olivia Tassley. And as you might imagine, there's a lot of reaction coming in.
Oh, wow.
Right now we're on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. We're also on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all the rest of them. You can find us on Action News. We are. We're on Google TV. We're on Apple TV. We're on Vizio. We're on everything. But when we do that, you can interact with us. How do you feel about Travis Hunter coming to Jacksonville? Olivia Tassley, what are they saying?
All right, guys, so it started a little while ago, so these are the very latest coming in right now. Very excited. There's a Duval up there. We have good move by Postmodern Prophet. He also said should be a good year as we get Travis Hunter in here. John Landrin, Jags are still awful next year. Pick his top 3 to the Browns. I don't know what he's drinking tonight. Obviously, he's not very excited. I'm going to go to a couple of people that you don't see on this board. It says, we're going to the Super Bowl. That is from Grata. What are you guys doing on your phones? People are watching you guys on your phones. Listen, we were a little delayed on the Jags draft party, so the pick came in, but you didn't hear it or see it until a couple minutes after. There's called the TV delay, people. So they were on their phones tweeting everything out. Difference Maker by Salt Life. I love the way that they went up and got Travis Hunter from Freedom. Bold City, baby. I love it. We have Super Bowl, another Super Bowl guy right here. Someone else said, let's see if I can go back and find it. This is my little contraption here, guys, but let me see. People are saying, did we give up too much? We feel like we gave up a lot? I'll let you guys discuss that. You have Travis Hunter. He's a weapon on both sides of the ball. Obviously, we'll have to see if we gave up too much after his rookie year, but you talk about intangibly rich. You're not going to get any richer than Travis Hunter, that unicorn. All right, let's go back to the live chat. Houston is laughing. Oh, wow, that went back. All right, let me go back here. This is live right here, people. Houston is laughing at their garbage division with Colts, Titans, and Jags. That's a little downburr. Let's see. We have up next the trenches. I like that. Go build the trenches with our next pick. Hunter pick is okay, but seeing Mr. Hicken, where's this one? On the Action Sports Jags stream is a dream come true. How do you like that one, Hicken?
Mr. Hugo!
Hey, Liv, just be careful you don't read everything everybody says on that. You never know what they might say.
Trust me, there's so many more on here. But yeah, they're coming in. People say, I love this pick. I skipped over a couple of them. Some I didn't read ahead of time. But yeah, overall, the pick is going off, and they're loving the pick with Travis Hunter.
We're going to keep talking about it. Liv, you're going to keep taking us through some of it. We want people to interact right now. What do you think? What are the problems with it? What gets you excited about it?
Well,
where do the Jags go from here? All these things. We're going to hang with you for a while. So while you watch the rest of the draft, we will too. And Liv will have some of the reaction.
One thing about, the folks who think the Jags gave up too much. In a way, you're getting 2 players for the price of 1. Yeah. If you're getting a star receiver and a star corner, then you know what? And if he's as good as they say he is on both sides of the ball, I'm telling you this, I know they love him as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
They are going to give him the offense. He is going to learn, and then he'll play some corner, the more natural, maybe he runs in on certain, downs and distances. I don't know how it works. He wants to play every snap. I don't think he can, but I bet you he comes in here tomorrow and says, I'm ready. I'm ready to play.
Let's talk more about Travis Hunter. The Jags have moved up to number 2. They pick Travis Hunter. They give away next year's first rounder.
Yep.
And we'll go over the trade
number
once
36.
again. Yeah, and the second rounder at least for now.
Yeah.
So we can go to bed and sleep in.
I bet you they take those 3rd and 4th round picks and move up for somebody.
Get back in the
It wouldn't shock me.
All right, let's talk more about that. Travis Hunter to Jacksonville. He's going to look good in a Jags uniform no matter what they gave up. More conversation here on the Action Sports Jags 24/7 Network. Draft night in Duval, live until 10 o'clock. Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles U Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the note for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Even better, to celebrate their 10-year anniversary, the team at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are hosting an open house May 1st. Learn about the array of procedures. There's also chances to win big prizes. Come look and feel your best with Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics today.
This is Action Sports Jax, Jags Nation. Draft night in Duval. Sponsored by Everbank. Advantage you.
Well, hey, remember last time Jags were picking number 5? That would have been 2016. Jalen Ramsey was the selection for the Jacksonville Jaguars back then.
Yes.
And that worked out. Well, this time around, the Jags didn't pick number 5.
No, number 2.
We don't need that. We're going to move up to number 2.
Have we ever picked number 2? Yeah, Kevin Hardy. I think Kevin Hardy was number 2 in 96.
I always get confused with, you know what I get confused with? Dante Fowler, Baselli.
Baselli was 2.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Hardy was 2, I think, the next year. Right? I think he was.
What about Dante Fowler or Bortles?
Dante was 3.
Were they both 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
I get them all mixed up.
Yeah.
But welcome back, everybody, to the Miller Electric Center and Jags headquarters, and they just made that pick and probably celebrated. Now, we couldn't hear them. We were on.
Right.
But they were probably celebrating that. They were a lot of work.
Well, a lot of high fives, I'm sure.
And there's excitement here. There's excitement at the Lemon Bar as well. And the Browns now are on the clock, by the way, with the Jags' original 5th overall
I wonder
pick.
if they take Mason Graham. I'll see if they take Mason Graham. It'll be interesting. Listen, it's funny because a lot of the reports today were the Bears and the Jags had a deal in place. The Bears and the Jags.
Yep.
The Jags were working the phones, but they were working the phones with the Cleveland Browns. And so the Cleveland Browns now will get a football player. They'll also get a number 1 next year. Now, it's imperative for the Jaguars to be better next year because we don't want to be handing them a number 5 pick overall again.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
So here's what's happened so far. And that's a good point.
Yeah.
Right? Now you hope that's a 24th overall pick.
We want Travis Hunter to help us go win the AFC South. Listen, I find it everybody's entitled to their opinion, but the negative opinions on this one are hard for me to digest. We've had 30 years of around here, man. We just had a GM make a bold move for the guy that everybody said is the best player in the draft. Now, in fairness, 4 years ago, everybody told us that Trevor Lawrence is going to be generational. That hasn't happened yet. So, but this kid will help Trevor Lawrence. I expect that they will add offensive linemen. They are out to score touchdowns, clearly.
Yeah. Well, they're out to get blue-chip players.
Yes.
Too. Now, keep in mind, something the Rams did before they rearranged themselves once again in the last couple of years is they went out and got stars.
Yes.
They traded with Jacksonville to get Jalen Ramsey. Right. They brought Matthew Stafford in. And all of that collection of talent won them a Super Bowl. The last Super Bowl champ is the Philadelphia Eagles, loaded with talent. You take the San Francisco 49ers the last 4 years, before last year.
Right.
They were in conference championship games. They have a ton of blue-chip players. The Jags need more studs.
You know when the NFL releases its top 100 players every year, we have like one guy on it every year, maybe 2. And however you want it, whatever phrase you want to use. Sometimes we use the word dogs. We don't have enough dogs on this team. Well, Travis Hunter is a dog. Travis Hunter is a superstar. Travis Hunter potentially is an all-pro. This is the Jags taking a big swing, and I applaud him for it.
Yeah, I do too. Listen, it's fun. As I said a short time ago, this is fun.
Travis Hunter is a guy, now again, for Shad Khan and the business folks, Travis Hunter is a guy who people who live in this area and our sports fans, I want to go see that kid play.
Yes.
I want to go see him play.
Kids wearing 12 jerseys.
Yes. Right. I want to go see him play.
And Trevor's had that impact, and other players have too. But
Yes.
this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'll give you one other thing I love about this is why I like Travis Hunter the most, maybe. Not just, obviously, his ability, and he's a unicorn and all that. But he was one of the most highly rated players coming out of high school, 5-star guy.
Yep.
He was committed to Florida State.
Yes.
He spurns Florida State, goes to Jackson State with Deion, and takes a chance, a big chance. I mean, how many people are doing that even though it's Deion? Well, he lived up to the hype. He was really good at Jackson State. Okay, lower competition. He goes to Colorado.
Right.
He helps change Colorado along with Deion Sanders, and he was excellent. He wins a Heisman Trophy. My point is, everywhere he's been, even though he's been hyped, he's delivered. And the other part of it is he helped change them. I think they like that part. He changed Jackson State. He changed Colorado. Can he change Jacksonville?
Okay, and going forward, just so you guys know, the Jags still have 9 picks in this draft. They have 2/3, 70 and 88. They have 2 fourths, 104 and 126. They have a 5th, 3 6th, and 1 7th. Mason Graham, the 5th overall pick to the Cleveland Browns. If you were betting in Vegas that Ashton Jeanty was going to be the 5th pick, you just lost.
You just lost.
You just lost.
Because it doesn't say Jackson.
No,
5th pick.
Just 5th pick. So you can bet teams or where they're going to get picked, and it's Mason Graham, and Mason Graham is going to Cleveland, and good for him. I like Mason Graham. I would have been fine with Mason Graham, but I'm over the moon with Travis Hunter.
What a move. What a wild move for the Jacksonville Jaguars. By the way, Mr. Pico says Luke Jokel number 2 as well. Good reminder.
Oh, that's right.
Jokel was number 2 in 2000.
Right. That one didn't work out so well.
That did not.
Don't remind me that one.
We didn't go over our second pick history enough. Going into this draft.
We were going over the number 5 pick. We were going over the best number 5 picks of all time: LaDainian Tomlinson, Deion Sanders, Sean Taylor. Those are number 5 picks. This is number 2. This is number 2, and everybody. Again, I'm not just saying. I will bet you that every board in the NFL in their war rooms had Travis Hunter at the top of the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cam Ward was the quarterback that Tennessee decided we think he can win a Super Bowl with him, so we're going to take him. We got Travis Hunter to stop him.
All right, well, let's take a look now at Cam Ward.
Okay.
Does he change the AFC South at all? Because we think Travis Hunter could change the Jags. I don't know if he changes the South, but he changes the Jags. How much will Cam Ward change the Tennessee Titans?
His first touchdown pass will be to Travis Hunter, hopefully.
On a pick 6. I like that. Very good.
He's a good player, man. I like. Listen, I watched him slice and dice my Gators up, so he threw for 380 on there. This play right here told me this kid can play in the NFL. He's going against his body. He stops, plants, and fires a zip to the back of the end zone. Watch this play. Zip. Now watch him roll out against his body and just fire it into the back of the end zone past 2 people. He has a knack for keeping plays going, and he'll be interesting. And again, he went from 0 stars to being the first pick of the draft. Follow your own path, kids.
Yeah, that's
Follow your own path.
That's pretty impressive. All right, what about the AFC South quarterbacks? Here's what we have, Dan.
Okay. Oh,
C.J. Stroud obviously gets Christian Kirk now.
We got the old man now, huh?
We got the oldest guy in the room who's still a young guy and just got a lot of help.
Crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. Trevor Lawrence, 25 years old. Anthony Richardson, maybe. He's got to fight for his job.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what they do.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, right?
Yeah.
In Indy. So it could be him.
If he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
What a moment. What a huge moment. Yeah. Where do they go? I don't want to say where do they go next because they don't have a second-round pick right now.
Right.
But now, if you say, okay, we're going to go get a blue chipper, what did they just miss? They didn't need a running back, right? No. They do need pass rush.
Yes.
They do need secondary help along the way.
We need a lot, Brent.
But do they need more offensive line?
Yeah.
Because they did that in free agency. Is that satisfactory enough? And now Jeanty doesn't help your offensive line, which we thought maybe could be the case. Mm-hmm. But do they have enough on offense is the point right now, even with Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter?
But you have 2 third-rounders. You have 2 third-rounders that can turn into a second round, or you have 2 third-rounders where you can get 2 football players. James Gladstone, this is where he's got to find us a Puka. And I'm not saying at the receiver position. But Puka Nacua is James Gladstone, one of his great finds in L.A. He got a lot of credit for Puka Nacua. He's got to do that on the offensive line or on the defensive line or at running back, Kyron Williams, 5th-round pick, right? There are a lot of good running backs out there. So right now, by the way, the Chicago Bears are shaking because they got a chance to get a guy that they covet, which is Ashton Jeanty.
Good call.
They pick at 10 right now. I wonder if they're on the phone. Who's 6? Raiders. And everybody
who also were linked to Jeanty.
Might take Ashton Jeanty, might take Kelvin Banks from Texas. So I think, and we haven't picked 6 yet, have we, Liv? The pick is in, so we'll get it in just a minute. But so we'll see what the Raiders do. But it might be Jeanty, it might be Kelvin Banks from Texas. So that would be my guess.
Hey guys, let me just we have to do this live because here we are live to Liv and Hamby back in the booth in there. We should have a Zoom link for Travis Hunter coming up here momentarily.
Okay.
And should be able to get him either on or flip that around for everybody to be able to hear. So. just make sure you have that. If you need anything, let us know if we can do it. But I did forward it. So hopefully we have the ability to get that. Don't miss out on that, please, so we can bring everybody Travis Hunter reaction from Green Bay, Wisconsin. He is there at the draft, by the way, as one of the biggest names at the draft. Here's James Gladstone in the pre-draft process talking about the trenches. And so where will they add? Could they add over the next couple of days? Absolutely. But here's how he feels about it right now.
Something that's been very clear to both Liam and I, and it's something that we both value innately, is physical and mental toughness. And I know that probably was apparent, and that just by default, the offensive line and defensive line, that breeds that sort of mentality and that type of play. We prioritized addressing offensive line through pro free agency, and I think we'll continue to do that throughout the draft. Those two elements in tandem is really a real combination that we covet, and I think you'll hear just about every time that Liam steps to a podium, he's going to mention some version of physical and mental toughness as really what he's hunting up.
Oh, we have sound?
All right, so that is James Gladstone talking about the offensive line a little bit, and
Ashton Jeanty just went to the Raiders.
Okay.
So with the 6th pick, Ashton Jeanty goes to Las Vegas, and so he's off the board, and I'm sure they're ecstatic. And we have the draft. I think I read that there's only been one other time where 2 top 5 teams traded during the draft. So it's only
really
happened.
That's it.
Yeah, 2 top 5 teams. So
wow.
that's.
That surprises me. Well, because who moved? Didn't Chicago move up one to get Trubisky or something?
That might be it.
That might have been the only other one?
I read Solomon Thomas was involved in it, though. I think that was San Francisco and maybe Chicago. I don't know, but that's the one I read.
Okay.
That was from Adam Schefter.
Well, here's what else was interesting, is that this was the first time since like the early 90s.
Right.
There hasn't been a trade sooner than a couple of days before the draft in the first round.
Right.
There was no movement.
Right.
The Jags are the only splash team, and they might be the only one. Now, we might be some middle of the first round trade backs by a couple spots like the Jags did to get Thomas last year.
Right.
But there was not a lot of movement, and the Jags were willing to be that bold team, that outside-the-box team. And, again, they were the storyline all day. This thing really started brewing last night. I'll give Ian Rappaport credit. He's the one that kind of pushed it out there, couched it a little bit, but said it could be in the works. And then we heard this afternoon that this thing, really earlier today, this thing was, heading in a way that maybe, if it works out, they could move up and get Travis Hunter. So this was obviously on their mind, and this wasn't just a smokescreen. This wasn't just Barry and the Cleveland Browns trying to drum up interest. This was a real deal for James Gladstone and the Jaguars to move up.
All right, Browns entered trade talks knowing it had to secure a player on their very short list, which was Hunter, Carter, or Mason Graham. Trading with the Jaguars kept them in the range of that. That's from the Browns side. So they had a very short list, and Mason Graham was one of those guys. So the Jaguars had to trade up to go get Travis Hunter, obviously. And the Raiders are a weird team because they just had a great running back who reminds me a little bit of Ashton Jeanty and Josh Jacobs, and they let him go. And so but they got it.
But a cheaper version.
You get a cheaper version. So.
And a younger back as well.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the roster right now as it sits? And again, we just said a little bit offense. They have to do more. They have to do See, there's a thought on defense that there's not going to be a lot of new players, not a lot of blue chip or star players.
Right.
You're going to add somewhere along the way, but it's the coaching staff that can make the biggest difference. But let's talk offense first. I mean, are the Jags good enough on offense to be better than your 18.8 points a game?
All right. Yes, but the draft is the lifeblood. I got 9 other picks. It's too early for me to say. I think they have a lot of work to do to make this team better than last year. And they weren't good last year. But what their spirit is lifted by the fact they lost 10 one-score games.
True.
So they haven't let that go. So when they came in, and Tony has said this to us, Liam Cohen said, we're better than 4-13. So they're working under that premise. They're a better team than 4-13. We're not going to lose 10 one-score games again. Law of averages won't allow that, although crazy things happen in Jacksonville.
That hadn't happened in 50 years.
Yeah, so law of averages tell us that's not going to happen. So that alone. But they let 2 good football players go in Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. And I'm not sold on the tight end room. Now I'm pretty excited about the wide receiver room, though, already. So that's a positive. Can they average better than 18.8? Yes. But you see that guy in the video there, number 16? Yeah, he needs to come to play this year. He needs to be ready. He needs to be bought in. He needs to be the guy. He needs to say enough with all this nonsense. We're going to play football. I'm going to lead us. I'm not going to play like I did in the first 4 games last year. I'm not going to be inconsistent. And Liam Cohen's going to help me get there.
Yeah.
He's given me. He should be excited about what they've just done. And so ultimately, a lot goes back to Trevor Lawrence, who will now be making soon his $55 million a year, and more expectation will be there for him.
Well, let me add a couple of things here.
Okay.
When Liam Cohen got the job, he said, okay, we got Trevor.
Yeah.
Right. Mentioned Trevor 100 times in that.
One of the reasons he took the job.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he said, hey, we've got 2 good backs.
Yes.
He liked the backs.
Yes.
And I thought that was always interesting.
Yes.
He liked Bigsby. He liked ETN. What he could do with that. 21 pony personnel, right?
Right.
All those things. And then he went to the defensive side with a couple pass rushers and even mentioned Tyson Campbell to us as a corner. He didn't mention the Ingrams and the Kirks, and then they eventually got rid of the Ingrams and the Kirks. He mentioned Brian Thomas Jr., by the way. The offense will work through him. But I think it's interesting because there was so much talk about Jeanty that it's like, wait a minute, don't sleep on the fact that you missed on Jeanty because he likes the backs here. I mean, Bigsby and ETN, but they've got to get more out of those backs, right? I mean, these guys have been inconsistent.
They were good enough.
They weren't
near good enough.
And I think the coaching staff didn't know how to use them together.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope that coaching does matter in the respect that we have better coaches here. We won't know that, obviously, until we get into the season. But the ground game was not good enough last year. It was not near good enough. ETN has taken a pretty good beating over his time here in Jacksonville. Remember, he missed his rookie season, but he's going into year 5. He has to be better. Bigsby has to be better. And I think the Jags will still add a running back maybe in the 4th or 5th round.
Okay, let's talk about the defense once again.
Okay.
Is coaching going to elevate their defense? It's the worst in the NFL.
We haven't done near enough. Again, those guys know a lot more football than me. I'm not sold on the safety that we added. To me, he's a journeyman. He's a guy. I like Jordan Lewis. I think he'll help. I don't know exactly how they're going to play the corners, but Travis Hunter will help, right? And so that's a positive. We need to stop. They'll run Travis Hunter out there. They'll put him on whomever we're playing, and hopefully he can D up whoever he's covering. So a lot of work to be done. We have got to find a pass rush. We have 2 good pass rushers, and that is it. We are void of pass rushers after Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen.
Yeah.
Right? And we have been for 3 years.
All right, Liv, where are we going here? We won't worry about 3rd and 1 because Ashton Jeanty didn't get picked, so the Jags will have to figure out 3rd and 1 with their free agency offensive line, and also how are they going to get the most out of those running backs. The other big guy on this offense, we talk about Brian Thomas Jr., can he evolve? Now we have Travis Hunter part of the mix. Well, what about Brenton Strange?
Yeah.
Because Brenton Strange now gets elevated, and you can't ask him to do what Evan Ingram did.
Yeah.
But in this offense, he could be a good fit for Liam Cohen.
He could be a good fit, but I'm also our tight end room is not as good as it was a year ago. I'm sorry, Evan Ingram was a good football player. Maybe he doesn't fit into what Liam Cohen wants to do. I get that part. Brenton Strange will get a great opportunity. But I'm not ready to sit there and go, hey, we're great with Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
If we could add another time. Yeah. We have a 3rd round pick. Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo are 2 young tight ends who probably are in that kind of area.
Yeah. Taylor out of LSU, Arroyo out of Miami.
Yeah, those are 2 guys that, you know what? Maybe we take a long look at those guys. And again, offensive line questions, right? Our new center, is he better than Mitch Morse was a year ago? I don't know. He was a backup in Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay, but he does know Liam Cohen's offense like the back of his hand. He can help Trevor Lawrence as well. That's another move to help Trevor Lawrence. He can help with the line calls. Our new guard he's flexible, but is he better than Brandon Sheriff? I don't know. I don't know.
Decorated career.
Yeah,
he played well last year.
He did, and so I don't know. Anton Harrison, got to be better. Walker Little, got to be better. Ezra Cleveland, we'll see. I suspect there will be another offensive lineman drafted.
Probably.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the middle rounds.
Yes.
Remember now, they have 2 4th-round picks. They actually jumped up into the early
2/3,
stages of the
2/4 we
fourth.
have.
So they didn't
No
lose
36,
that.
though.
They swapped that part.
Yeah, no 36.
Okay, here's what we have now. Speaking of
The
offensive
Jets took
linemen.
Armand Membu.
Yeah, so Will Campbell and Membu off. I don't think there's a stud offensive
What happened
lineman
to
in
Kelvin
this draft.
Banks? I thought we all loved Kelvin Banks. Kelvin Banks is an interesting story. The Texas offensive lineman who was always in the top 10 early, disappeared for months, and seemingly rallied here in the last few weeks. But Membu over Banks surprises me.
Yeah, and I don't think either of those guys are studs.
No.
And that's why I didn't like the offensive line.
I've heard good and bad on Membu.
Yeah.
And again,
right tackle maybe.
Yeah, and just, I don't. Did anybody know anything about him until the workouts? I hate workout warriors.
Yeah.
Trust the tape, man. Trust the tape. And
hey, Stuart Weber. Say that again, Liv. Stuart Weber caught up with Brenton Strange this week. We were just talking about Brenton. So I wanted to get to that a little bit about the draft time and about how he sees this offense evolving.
Okay.
And this, of course, before he knows that Travis Hunter is going to be a part of that offense.
Stand by. We switch rundown. Just loading.
all right, load it away. We're fine.
We can kill more time if we need to.
Yeah.
We are catching up with Jaguars tight end Brenton Strange. And with the draft here, let's start with some draft talk before we get into a little football talk. And I'm going to start by taking you back a couple years. Give me some memories. Give me some thoughts. Late second round, you hear your name called by the Jacksonville Jaguars. What was that moment like for you?
Man, it was a dream come true, honestly. I wanted to be in Florida, and God made that happen. So, once you got that call, it's just like all the tension and everything that you had, it's a big waiting day. You're waiting, you got a kind of idea of when you're going to get picked. And I thought I would go second, late second, early third. And they called me, man. So it was a blessing. And I'm just happy to be in Jacksonville.
So it kind of happened around when you were expecting it. Was there a lot of tension? Was there just kind of this, when's it going to happen?
Yeah, they do the second and the third, right? And then, so I'm like, all right, like I'm thinking I'm going to go in the second, and it's getting towards the end of the second. I don't know how many picks were left in the second, but I was like, I know I'm going to go in the second. Come on. Let's go. So it happened. And just like I said, like all the tension and everything, like you kind of just get to sit back for a second and just look back on all the hard work that you've done and everything that you put into it, the people around you that have helped you get to this point. And it's just an amazing feeling.
You guys have had a chance to get in the building and get with this coaching staff as we kind of turn our attention to 2025 and the current Jaguars roster. What have these first interactions been like for you with the new offensive staff? Obviously, you kind of have a benefit that a lot of your teammates really don't, in that you keep Coach Angelo and you don't have to change your position coach. But what has the overall feel like been as you guys have to adapt to Coach Cohen and a new staff?
It's been great, man. I love what they're doing. I love the just the whole attitude around everything and the culture that we're trying to set right now. So I think it's going to be great, and I can't wait to continue building on it throughout this OTAs and then going into camp. It's been really good.
I know culture is obviously a big word, and we look at schemes. We wonder how all these pieces are kind of fit together. What have those conversations been like for you with the coaching staff on your role in this new Jaguars offense and kind of where you will fit in? Obviously, as right now the top dog when it comes to that tight end room.
Yeah, man, I just come in every single day and I do my job and I do what they're asking me to do. So whatever they want that to be, I know I'm a reliable player. I know I'm going to come in every single day, and whatever they ask me to do, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do more. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to work my tail off every single day to get better.
It seems like these are kind of those formational days and weeks, though, for that offense, right? They're coming up with what they can do. Do you maybe slide a couple tight end plays across the desk to Coach Udinsky and Coach Cohen and be like, hey, I might be pretty good on this play or this play?
I mean, just looking back on it and seeing the guys that they've had in their systems, I don't even got to do that, man. They've had some great players. TJ Hawkinson from Minnesota, obviously, K-Dot, and those guys have done great things. Even the guys that we brought in, they do great things. So I'm excited.
Thank you so much, Brent. Appreciate you taking some time and chatting with us here on Action Sports Jacks.
Appreciate you.
All right, we are efforting James Gladstone. We're going to hear from him in just a couple minutes. Travis Hunter is talking as well via Zoom. He said he thought this could happen last week. He was looking for houses in Jacksonville last night. So all that and more coming up here on Action Sports Jax. We got much more ahead. Stay with us.
Action Sports Jax is the biggest brand in Jacksonville, and we're excited to add another partnership for this team's biggest season yet. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is now the official streaming network of the Jacksonville Sharks for their 15th season.
The Jacksonville Sharks are your champions.
I'm ready to show my hand, ready to take a stand, wait on a sign above, and I am ready, 'cause I just live for the game, 'cause I just live for the game, 'cause I just live for the game.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jax are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits. And they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me. And if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajax.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajax.org. Don't wait, apply today.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
This is Action Sports Jax, Jags Nation. Draft night in Duval. Sponsored by Everbank. Advantage U.
All right, well, there it is. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking Travis Hunter, now going on, almost an hour. Well, not really, about 40 minutes ago, as they trade up to number 2 with the Cleveland Browns. We'll go over what they gave up.
Right.
Was it too much? Here's the deal. For now, they got a guy. They got a dude. They got a blue chipper, and they got a superstar,
yes.
Quite frankly, potentially in the NFL. What a huge move, maybe one of the biggest moves we've ever seen here in Jacksonville in a draft. And this new regime said we're going to be bold and we're going to go get it. Now we'll see if they're right over time. But what a fun player to have in Jacksonville on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Think Shohei Ohtani in baseball right now, how unique he is. I'm not telling you he'll be as great as him. Who knows? But you can use this guy all over the place. He is a unicorn coming to the NFL.
This part doesn't matter as much, but big smile on his face, really happy and excited to be a Jaguar. By the way, Carolina just took Tet McMillan with the 8th pick.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of a surprise. But James Gladstone talking about what happened just moments ago. So, and he wanted to be bold. He said there'd be fireworks. That's what he delivered.
You know what? I think it definitely took a collaborative effort, right? Obviously, it starts with what we do internally, our coaching staff, our scouting staff, working hard to identify the elements that we've come to covet. And I think beyond that, obviously, in order to pull off a trade, it takes two to tango. And working with Andrew Berry, working with the Cleveland Browns throughout this process, it's been fairly smooth. And obviously, there's going to be back and forth throughout that. And we kept an open line of communication all the way up until the point in time in which they were on the clock, and that's when we executed. And so it was an awfully enjoyable moment in time. Certainly one that I'll remember, and look forward to seeing the playback here in the coming minutes, hours, days that lie ahead, just so I can relive that before moving on to our next selections tomorrow and into Saturday.
You guys like to talk about going back and sleeping on it. I'm paraphrasing it poorly, but when you're making these kind of decisions, when you slept on him and came back, what were 2 or 3 things that gave you confidence and said, yeah, you know what, a lot of equity goes into this, but we feel good about this?
Yeah. Sleeping with those scenarios, sleeping with those thoughts, it allows you to sort of live with the sensations that come with them and determine what the best course of action might be for us outside just the idea of a traditional meeting room setting. I think through that, right, there are players that you can target and acquire who alter the trajectory of a game. There are players that you can target and acquire that alter the trajectory of a football team. There are very few, and it's rare, to be able to target and prioritize a player who can alter the sport itself. And Travis is somebody that we view has the potential to do that. Obviously, there's a lot for him to earn as he steps into the NFL, but we view him through the lens of unique. And it's exciting for us to be able to add someone to this organization who, by being nothing more than who he is, elevates the space around him. And I am excited about the opportunity to be able to put those words now to action and have our fan base and supporters see what I meant by those lines of thought.
We saw a video in the draft room of the celebration. You had the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator, and they're going to fight over time for meeting, right?
Yeah, no, that was a first to have both coordinators in the room. We look forward to onboarding Travis, and really for the start, our plan there is to have a heavier dose of offense early in the down, knowing a more natural position is that of defense for him. And offense certainly requires a lot of nuance, a lot of adjustments. And so I want to make sure that he gets off to a good start in that sort of mental frame of mind. And then as we continue to build and get on the grass, even out that balance as time goes on.
That's James Gladstone, courtesy at Jaguars.com. He was just on with those guys. We're going to have Jeff Lageman join us in just a little bit. Did you hear what he said there?
Yeah.
We got a player that can alter the sport. I mean, that's not alter a franchise.
Yeah.
Alter the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a loud statement. And James Gladstone has said some loud things, from fireworks earlier tonight to this. And I just go back to my conversation with Liam Cohen at the NFL owners meetings and asked him about Travis Hunter. And he said, you just have to have a plan. They mentioned the offensive coordinator and defense coordinator in the room. That's a first, right? Because you got both sides. You've got to have a plan. You've got to be disciplined about your plan. You've got to stick to your plan. You've got to do right by the young man, too, and acclimate him to the NFL. He wants everything. But you've got to be the smart guy to say, hey, you can't play 100 plays in the NFL and stay healthy.
Yeah.
You've got to play X amount of plays and do this and these packages, and this is going to make you be the best version of you.
I'll be curious to hear what Logs thinks about that part of the game and how many plays and playing both sides of the ball and that part, because he's lived it. We're in the Sunshine State. It's hot as hell down here. I mean, it is, that part of it will be very interesting for me to see as we get Jeff in here and hear him talk about what he thinks. With Travis Hunter, boy, big cojones on the GM, buddy.
Yeah, kind of interesting in that we had Baselli on with me and JP Shadrick earlier in the day, and he referred to James Gladstone as a killer.
Yes.
He did. Stone cold killer.
I mean, you talk about a killer. I mean, this is a bold move.
Yeah.
For a first-year general manager to step right in at 34 years old and take the helm and with a limited amount of time of preparation.
Point. Yeah.
And then pulling this off, that's a big deal.
Jeff, if they make this move, he's going to play wide receiver primarily, right? I mean, you got to believe.
Yeah, I mean, first off, watching the film, me personally, I thought he was the most effortless athlete I've ever watched on film. I think he's a Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver, in my opinion. I think he's a wide receiver first. Now, look, I think at times he kind of got a little bit bored on defense. But at the end of the day, if you had to take a choice between Travis Hunter being a wide receiver or a defensive back, how many times has he touched the ball on offense versus how many times he touches the ball on defense when you're talking about an athlete that is like this?
Right.
So I think offense has got to be the bulk of the snaps, and I think you'll have packages for him on defense, but packages that are probably going to be larger than anybody's ever done. I mean, we're about to see something that's never been done in the National Football League in its history ever.
And that's what Gladstone just said, altering the sport. Yeah. Is it doable? Is it feasible?
He's been doing it in college.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, you're talking about
150 plays.
Yeah, 140, 150 snaps in college. In the NFL, you're looking at about an average game is about 65 snaps on each side of the ball.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not
just
more,
right?
But there are more games in the NFL than there is in college. So you worry a little bit about the mileage.
Yeah.
And then I think down the road, this is just me thinking out loud.
Sure.
You worry about the contract, too.
I'm a receiver. I made Pro Bowl on both sides. Yeah. Double the pay.
Shohei Ohtani.
If he turns out to be the guy that you think he is,
yes,
this is going to be uncharted waters contractually
for everybody.
Well.
Yeah, well, that would be a good thing. What kind of packages do you put him in? Let me take you. You be a defensive coordinator for me because you can minimize what he does. Shoot, you could use this guy on punt return if you really want to, but are we talking a dime package for him? Is that what we're getting at?
I think dime is limited.
Yeah.
I'm thinking nickel.
Okay.
A nickel package because, ballpark when you're talking about a game, nickel is about 65% of the snaps on defense, which is a pretty good amount.
Yeah.
But this is a young man that wants to do this. Okay. And they're in agreement. They want to let him try because,
no punt returns, though.
I don't know. I think that might be a little much.
I think I can give that up.
Let's give that part up. How about this? Offense, 18.8 points a game last year, 34 touchdowns total. Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
How do you defend?
Can you imagine being a defensive coordinator?
I like that.
Trying to figure out how to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, if obviously, if everything turns out the way you expect it.
Right.
Holy cow.
Wasn't he?
Let me just add something real quick.
Yeah.
We're talking about, defensive coordinators trying to come up with a scheme to stop two guys in the passing game.
Right.
Well, what's that going to do for the running game?
Right.
Okay. So even though you've drafted a player that you expect to play wide receiver, it's helped the running game because of just who he is and what you're going to have on the outside now.
Wasn't he rated by, would you guess, almost every club as they're not just talking about him as the best player in this draft. There is talk about him being the best player in the next 10 drafts. Yeah. I mean, that's the type of talent that you guys see.
Yeah.
He's
special. And then in this draft, I thought there were three elites in this draft.
Right.
Jeanty, the running back, and obviously Travis Hunter, and then Abdul Carter.
Okay.
I thought those three guys were the premium athletes in this draft, and Travis Hunter was number one.
Okay.
And it wasn't close. He's number one.
In this Liam Cohen offense, the way I envision Travis Hunter, and I know he can go downfield and he can catch everything else, but get the ball in his hands quick, right? We saw that with Brian Thomas Jr. later in the season when they started to feed him, and he did a nice job with that. And can use his speed, and if he can get through traffic and navigate it. Is that the way? Am I envisioning that right with Travis Hunter? I'm not saying you can't run a bunch of different routes, but get rid of the ball, bubble screen it maybe, get the ball in his hands as quick as possible?
I think he can do anything you ask him to do. I mean, literally, I think he can do anything. He's got body control of a wide receiver that I've never seen before.
That one catch in the corner of the end zone that we show all the time is unbelievable, isn't it?
Body control, hands, speed, stamina. I mean, there's nothing that he doesn't have.
Okay, what would you say to anyone who would say, gosh, we gave up a lot? number 36, a number 1 next year, exchange for. I mean, what's your response there?
Well, you're essentially giving up. I mean, to make it simple, you're giving up next year's 1, this year's 2, to be able to move up.
Right.
I mean, there's a swap, and you get a 6, but it's all whatever.
Right.
If you can draft what many people believe to be a generational player, is it worth it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll answer that. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. And I don't care what you give up if you get that.
I can tell you this. Of 28, 29 years of watching film, however many years it's been for me.
Okay.
There was a quarterback that I watched that said it's the greatest quarterback I ever watched on film. Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
This guy is the greatest athlete I've ever watched on film. And I'm not trying to,
No, I know. You keep it real.
I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I mean, I said that 2 weeks ago.
Correct.
Before this draft ever even happened. He's the most effortless athlete that I have ever watched play football, do any sport whatsoever.
He's a really cool guy in the fact that he's a 2-time academic All-American. He's a humble kid. Usually when you play these kind of positions,
You're talking about intangibles? Is that intangibly rich?
So
he is intangibly rich.
And he's super productive. I don't want to go spin this negative, especially me of all people.
Right.
Can his body hold up? Because he's not big. He's not like LeBron James or you talk Shohei Ohtani. He's a big dude, right? Like
he's a little more wiry.
But
he's like 188
pitching and
pounds.
hitting's a little bit different.
But we see specimens in this sport. I mean, Josh Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker, right? Now, Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't look that way to me. He's a slighter guy, I guess. But this guy is not. Is he built for this league? To have the stamina and everything
he's
else.
Built for any league. I mean, he's amazing.
No concern then about that.
I think there's a concern that can it hold up? I mean, it's because I've always viewed the human body is that look, there's a limited mileage number that you can actually ask the body to do, right?
Right.
And this is something that's never been done before. But when you go and you look, it's never been done in college either. But he just did it. So, I mean, why is it too big of an ask to say that he can or can't do it at the NFL level?
Yeah.
I think let's all pull up a chair, grab a bag of popcorn, and watch NFL history in the making.
You're right about from a business standpoint. Shad Khan's somewhere high-fiving people tonight. Where he's got to be thrilled.
Ticket office is open.
Get the jerseys printed and get them in tomorrow.
Have you ever known Shad Khan to want to do something that's not big?
Yeah.
I mean, I think as much as we talk about James Gladstone with this, you can't do something like this without the blessing from the owner.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the Jaguars owner, for all Jaguar fans, this guy wants to win.
Right.
And James Gladstone just got telling us that there are certain players that can change a franchise, that can change things.
Right.
And he was talking about Travis Hunter with those words.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Lageman, nice job, man. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Travis Hunter on Jaguars All Access in the fall.
Well, since he plays 2 positions, we got to get him twice as much as anybody else.
Tonight we talk defense.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you guys. Hey,
guys.
listen to Travis Hunter. He just talked moments ago from up in Green Bay. Here's what he had to say.
Oh, it's gonna be fun to play with those guys. It's gonna be excited to watch us play. So.
Awesome. And about Trevor, as far as, have you met Trevor Lawrence before in different recruiting circles?
No, I actually met Trevor Lawrence in Hawaii. And I actually met him in Hawaii. We was doing something for Adidas, but it was a blessing, to be able to meet him that first time. And then now I get to go meet him again. Also get to play with him, we also get to go, do our thing. So it's definitely a blessing. I'm definitely happy, go to work with him.
Awesome. Congrats, Travis.
Well, thank you.
Shocking move.
And then we'll go to John Shipley.
Hey, Travis, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm curious. There's a lot of pressure on you now, obviously, being a guy that the team mortgaged a lot of picks for to come up. And are you going to embrace that? Is that something that you thrive with? Obviously, there's a ton of pressure on you playing both ways at Colorado. But
there's no pressure. There ain't no pressure for me. I just got to go out there and do my job, be Travis Hunter. They did everything they could to come get me. Now I got to do everything I could to help win and, help the organization, uplift them.
Do you
I know you said you weren't a Jaguars fan, but are you familiar with sort of kind of their up and down struggles over the past decade or so, and how they're trying to find a way to become consistent winner? And I'm just wondering what kind of piece you feel like you play in that.
I just feel like I can help the organization out in many ways, and I hope that I hope that we turn it around.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, thanks. We're going to go to John Shipley, and then we'll finish up with Gene Frenette.
Hey, Travis, congratulations. What do you really know about Brian Thomas Jr., and what are your thoughts on, now kind of forming that duo with him?
Hey, Brian Thomas is tough. I always tell people, they was asking me this year who was like my favorite receiver out of this year and like who's playing good to me. I always told him Brian Thomas. He's very slept on, but he's also very, very good. So I'm excited, get to meet him and get to play with him and, make that dynamic duo.
Thanks, Travis. Looking forward to meeting you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to meeting you too.
All right, bye. Florida Times Union.
Hey, Travis, congratulations. Is there any part of you that has even the smallest reservation about playing both ways on a full-time basis at the NFL level? Because it's obviously a much different, faster game than college.
It's a faster game, but you get a lot more breaks. So I'm just excited to go out there and work.
3-2.
Winning or
Down.
losing? Oh.
All right, so that is Travis Hunter just moments ago speaking with the Jacksonville media on a Zoom call from Green Bay. Of course, he's there. We're going to hear more from him, more from James Gladstone. The brass is going to talk soon here as well, as kind of their night is over for now, at least it looks like, right?
One fan summed it up on Twitter. We've made 8 million dog bleep draft picks as an organization, and we just got a superstar. And some of y'all are worried about future draft picks. Stop.
I agree with that, too.
Okay? I mean, in a way that's...
At least for a night.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
Travis Hunter, man. I mean,
listen to the way Jeff just talked about him.
Yeah.
Listen to the way, again, James Gladstone said, alter the sport.
Yeah.
Not your organization, the sport. Jeff, who has studied tape for a long time, been around the league a long time, and I don't think Jeff throws out compliments left and right, by the way, if you know our man Logs.
Yeah.
Says he's the best guy he's ever seen at that position in terms of the talent. Thinks he can be a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Had Tony Baselli on earlier. We need to score touchdowns. The way he talked about Gladstone, he's a killer. Well, he was a killer in the draft room tonight. He's going for it. Bold, all those things. I like they're practicing what they're preaching a bit here in Jacksonville right now. What a move for Travis Hunter to come to the Jags. It's going to be exciting now. Season tickets on sale, and the phones are ringing, most likely, here at Jags headquarters. Liam Cohen, James Gladstone, Tony Baselli, Shad Khan, Tony Khan, Trevor Lawrence. Oh, the impact of the pick is so big. Yes. We'll talk about it when we come back here on this Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network special. And also a live look at Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena inside Game 4 of the ECHL
Come on,
playoffs.
Iceman.
The Icemen have lost 3 straight games in overtime to the Everblades. They're down 3-0. They're down 3-2 tonight, trying to stay in the fight. We'll keep you updated throughout the evening. I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains, and no payments for 90 days. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at NimnichtBuickGMC.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Even better, to celebrate their 10-year anniversary, the team at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are hosting an open house May 1st. Learn about the array of procedures. There's also chances to win big prizes. Come look and feel your best with Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics today.
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
This is Action Sports Jacks, Jags Nation. Draft Night in Duval. Sponsored by Everbank. Advantage you.
Well, there's a look at Green Bay, Wisconsin, and that's where Travis Hunter was tonight, and he is the story of the draft. He's been the story of the draft process, quite frankly. We all knew he was so good, and even more than the quarterbacks, right? Cam Ward, the only quarterback to go so far, and once that happened, once Cam Ward went to Tennessee, then the Jags could make the move with the Cleveland Browns, and they could move up to get Travis Hunter. And once again, worth reiterating, Dan Hicken, as we welcome everybody back to this Draft Night Duval special. And this happened earlier than we expected tonight. Although I shouldn't say we expected, because we started hearing rumblings as early as late this morning, early this afternoon, that this could be potential to happen. But what did the Jags give up? And what did they just get? We think they got a superstar, a unicorn, a different guy in the NFL, a changer here in Jacksonville for your franchise. And once again, I'll keep saying this because I think it's a pretty wild comment. James Gladstone, the GM, said he can alter the NFL. Wow. What did they give up?
Well, they gave up a number one basically for next year, and they gave up the 36th pick for this year. If everything else is kind of mishmash, moved around. So in essence, that's what they gave up. They got a player who can play two different positions. As Lagerman pointed out, it'll be interesting to see come contract time if he's as good as they say. But that's a good thing.
Got the fifth-year option.
Yeah, we'll worry about that down the road. Look, this is a home run move. Will it work out? Only time will tell. What I love, and it's not that big a deal to the fans, all that matters to them is how good of a player he is. I love the joy in his face when he got picked by the Jaguars.
Yeah, you really have been saying that.
I mean, that to me tells me here's a kid who wanted to come here. They had been talking to him. They were able to work it out, and the joy in his face was awesome to see. So that's, as you know, if you contrast that with, say, C.J. Henderson a few years ago, when it was just like, oh my God, it was awesome to see. I can't wait for him to get here to get started. Josh Hines-Allen has tweeted out. Trevor Lawrence has tweeted out. By the way, one other side note, totally, but mark your calendars, May 14th. They just announced schedule release.
Oh, it's going to be May 14th. They already announced it.
Yeah.
Oh,
they announced it at the draft
play
night.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, announced May 14th.
They gave the date, yeah.
Hey, does this get you a prime time kind of game?
It could, yeah, for sure. I would think, yeah. I mean, and what it does is again, all that stuff doesn't matter. All that matters is do they win football games. But, there'll be a lot of people watching this training camp now with Travis Hunter and watching him. And, of course, we will sit there and tell you that he's going to Canton based on what he does in training camp, because that's what we do as local media. But there is a genuine excitement in Jacksonville, which is great. Gladstone, big cojones, swung for the fences, hit it out, and out at the beach. Place went crazy when they announced it.
It was pretty cool. We had it live right here on our Action Sports Jacks Draft Night in Duval special right on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Let's head back out with Madison. A little bit more quiet. Maybe you can now hear us out there, Madison.
I think I can
can hear you, but when I tell you everyone was so excited to get this two-sided star, everyone erupted. And like you said, prime time. But I really liked what you said up there, Brent and Dan. The smile on that kid's face said it all. Hard work pays off. Defense wins championships. And guess what? He does both. He's a defender. He's on offense. Defender. I'm talking soccer here. Forgive me. But I mean, come on. You get a jack of all trades. That's just... Everyone kept telling me it was just refreshing to hear his name, and to see his smile really just said it all, Brent and Dan. I mean, you could tell he's so excited to come, and the fans are welcoming him here. They're ready to have him. So I'm sure in the next few weeks when he's down here, he is going to be welcomed with open arms, and I'm really hoping he's going to make a big impact on the field and we can get past this 4-13 situation from last season. But for now, I think it's a great night, and I think everyone else is very happy with it, and I will have more reaction coming up in our later shows. But I'm going to send it back to you because things are starting to die down here, but the excitement definitely is in. Brent and Dan.
Thanks, Madison. And by the way, and I'm not sure you even realize this right yet, Madison, or anybody else does, they were just part of a really special night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a special night. Like, we look back on some of these, big moments, and not all of them work out the way we want them to.
Right.
But you can always tell when there's a big moment. And I remember the Town Center when they picked Justin Blackman, the place went crazy, right? I mean, when you pick Blake Bortles, when you trade up to get Gabbert, when you end up getting Trevor, you pick Trayvon. All these these are moments. Yes. And you hope they build towards something. Is this the one that changes it around and builds towards something special? I say this all the time. I did this exercise a few years back, and I think it was around the Urban time, really. I said, how do organizations change themselves? How did the Buffalo Bills go from a perennial loser for 25 years to now what they did? Well, they got Josh Allen, but they also made bold moves. They went and got Stephon Diggs. That was a move that was questionable at the time. Right. Should they have given up what they gave up? Or Minnesota, should they have gotten rid of Diggs? That helped them, at least at the time, get to a spot that they hadn't been.
Well, and
is this the bold move that the Jags just made?
Yes, but I like what you're doing, but there are different ways to do it, right? Because I can go back to the Pittsburgh Steelers, perennial losers. That compares more to Jacksonville. Decade after decade after decade. And what happened? They hit the 70s, okay? They took Terry Bradshaw, with the first pick of the draft. But and it wasn't free agency, that was different then, but they built through the draft. You want to look at Hall of Famers that they drafted? Go look at their 74 draft. Go look at, one at Mean Joe Green. Go look at Lynn Swann and Stallworth. The linebackers, Ham you had. Just so many good football players. Franco, Rocky, and they built that team through the draft. This is what Gladstone wants to do. He wants to build this team through the draft, and he started with, you talk about one that will be remembered forever. He just put his mark on this franchise in like a month.
They put a little stamp on the NFL, quite frankly. Hey, we partnered up all the time as the official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had James Gladstone on a short time ago. So let's get a little bit more of that conversation, and then we'll probably have it right at the top of our newscast at 10 o'clock. The press conference is about to be slated for right around 10 o'clock tonight with James Gladstone and assume Liam Cohen as well. We'll hear from some other folks. We already have a little bit of reaction from Travis Hunter himself. And we want you to hear from Brian Thomas Jr. when we had him on tonight, when we asked him about Travis Hunter. That's coming up in a moment. But first, here's more with James Gladstone.
This is interesting, and obviously we had some good players, some good people with the Los Angeles Rams, and there's some leaders along the way whose profile read very similar to Travis, and it's the idea that the best player on their prospective collegiate team was also the hardest worker, and that fits Travis's profile, and it's a big reason why we were so interested in bringing him here.
Final thought about the process to get to this point. When was that first conversation with Cleveland? And obviously it ended tonight with the draft pick at number 2. Can you remember when the thought or the conversation actually crossed over the phone line?
Yeah, so I think early April, mid to early April was probably the first time that we had a conversation about it and sort of worked through the framework of a trade, and obviously didn't execute until Cleveland had firmly been in position on the clock. But we had a pretty good idea for probably the last couple of weeks that this was going to likely come to fruition. Obviously, you never know until it actually does in fact take place, but we're certainly happy that it did.
Well, I'll feel very comfortable sharing my secrets with you as time goes on, because nobody knew this one until today. So it was well kept.
You guys didn't happen to log a vote with Tony. He kept asking everybody that he was sitting down with who it was that he wanted to see become a Jaguar. Their first pick. Did you guys log votes?
I had a thought.
I logged one, but
by nature.
Okay. So you didn't anticipate. You assumed that
we're
Travis
5
is out of the equation.
Right. That's what I was thinking too.
I like it.
I thought you wanted him. Didn't think you could pay the price to get him, but it's a bold move.
Yeah, bold move.
You know what? I think there was a saying, and one that I've held on to for quite some time. But when the opportunity to be bold presents itself, I think a trademark of our leadership group is that we won't flinch, and that was reflected here tonight.
A lot of that too, John. You made this point a moment ago, and then we'll get you out of here in a second. Is you still got 9 picks to go, even with the trade and your history of making deeper picks. That comes into play. You still have 9 selections remaining in this draft to play with, right?
Oh yeah, this is where it really gets fun. Fans, don't take your eyes off the screen because it's about to get entertaining.
Well, that's James Gladstone with the guys from Jaguars.com, of course. And now let's get the gal with Jaguars.com, Kanani Stevens. What did you do? Did you get like a police escort back from the Lemon Bar or what?
I was so excited, I must say. If I wasn't so excited, I would still be at Lemon Bar right now with a Jagsarita in hand. But
not a bad idea.
The energy there, as well as the pick kind of announcement came out, was huge. Of course, we had been seeing some things. Nothing was official, right? But to kind of watch the fans and everybody realize it at the same time and see it on the big board, that was a pretty cool moment.
So the word gets out that there's a trade, and then everybody kind of, if you follow it, you know who they're going to pick.
Sure.
So they all were sitting there like waiting and waiting and waiting in anticipation to hear it become official with Goodell and Eric Armstead, who was there as well.
Yes, Eric Armstead coming in and announcing it officially. I think most of our fans are pretty up quick in the uptake, kind of know what that means, right? So to actually hear that, and I think what was cool is just seeing how excited Travis Hunter was, right? Running down the hallway, hitting on the Jags head.
Dan's favorite part.
I love it. I love that.
And just saying I'm coming home to Florida. I think just that excitement to see it reflected back, that's huge. And obviously he's going to change the game in many, many ways. But also as a franchise player, I mean, immediately the face, one of the faces of the franchise now.
Let's talk about some folks that this impacts, okay? And we start with the brass. This is their first big decision.
Right.
And this obviously impacts their legacy. I mean, what a huge move to kick off this new regime.
It's obviously massive. We've heard James Gladstone say when they have the opportunity to be bold, they're going to be bold, and that clearly didn't take very long for them to do that.
Right.
If this pays off, and we all hope it does, it's going to be monumental. Either way, it's going to be a huge moment, probably one of the biggest draft moments in the franchise history, I'm sure, at this point.
Oh, I think so. I think this was the biggest move tonight we've ever seen in the Jacksonville Jaguars drafting.
Pretty big. It was pretty big. Go ahead.
You never see anybody trade up for a non-quarterback either. It doesn't feel like.
Right. And Gladstone only gets one chance to make his first ever pick, and this one they'll be tied together forever. This is an incredible move. It's a big cojones, big move by the young man, and he swung for the fences. And he said he would be bold, and Tony described him as a killer, on the show today, and apparently he has that quality about him, even though he's baby-faced.
What's the next shirt we're going to make? What's the line coming out of this one?
I don't know. He'll give us something, though.
I have no doubt. He'll have many one-liners.
Alter the NFL, maybe, or alter the sport. What about Trevor Lawrence, guys? Again, I think it's worth reiterating. Trevor has tweeted about it. He's got to be excited. I mean, they're setting him up. Obviously, he's their biggest investment. He's the most important piece in this franchise. Liam Cohen said it. But for now, Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, I mean, what a chess piece and what a helper for number 16.
We saw a lot of changes in the offseason that included letting go two of Trevor Lawrence's favorite targets, right? Evan Ingram left, Christian Kirk left. Of course, Brian Thomas is going to be a main role no matter what, but to now have someone like this on the other side that you can pair up with 4 options for Trevor, you're giving him everything he needs to succeed at this point. They're trying to address the offensive line. I'm sure we'll see some more of that, whether tomorrow or the next day. They're setting this offense up for Trevor to make that step. As much as we've talked about him needing to do that, he's going to have all the pieces in place.
Yeah, and then Logs comes in and says, that this kid is the best athlete he's ever seen on a football field. I mean, there's some big words being thrown around about this young man, so here's hoping everybody's right, because it's impressive. Now, do you think that the coordinators will be having a tug-of-war over this kid.
Yes. We have a little behind the scenes. I'm sure it'll be coming out soon. But the excitement, it's funny because Grant Udinsky's very calm and Coach Camp is not. Right. Very Italian jersey. So the excitement level on both sides, though, I mean, how could you not be to have both of them? I mean, he has the opportunity to be one of, if not the best player on each side of football, which is crazy to think about.
It's unbelievable to even say that, really, right? It feels a little New Year's Eve-ish tonight with all this excitement. The winners of the night, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. Everybody thought Jeanty was going to be the guy. Job security. And listen, I said it earlier, Liam Cohen likes these guys. Now, how will he use these guys? We know they want to run the football. And what do Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. do to open up the run game potentially to also help out Trevor in this offense?
And they did address some of the offensive line issues in free agency, which is a focus that they're going to have. I have to imagine they'll get a couple more bodies at some point during the next couple of days. And just having that competition factor, different coaching staff in here, and obviously in the trenches is where everything gets started. It's nice to have all the shiny pieces, but you have to block to set things up.
I thought the wide receiver room had taken a big step back by losing Kirk and Ingram, in all honesty. And with all due respect to the guys that they brought in here, I'm not sold on it. Now, all of a sudden, I'm not just sold, I'm excited. I'm buying. I'm all in. I mean, I got Brian Thomas Jr. on this side, right? And you can't double him because you got this other kid that they say is uncoverable. I mean, how exciting must that be for Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen?
Those are some good options to have to play with.
Yeah, aren't they?
Well, Kadani Stevens, we appreciate you stopping by.
Of course, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for hustling back from the Lemon Bar.
Do what I can.
And now we get to have some fun with this. It's going to be fun. Listen, the offseason is usually fun. Right, the anticipation, the hope.
Big fun now.
But hope is a cool thing.
Hope is good.
Those folks answering phone calls downstairs for season tickets, they're going to have some fun over the next couple of weeks.
They deserve it.
They deserve
it's been
that
a tough time.
As well. Kai Seymour, Kai on Jaguars.com. Appreciate you stopping by. And speaking of Brian Thomas Jr., we caught up with him earlier when he was at the draft party. We asked him, we tried to press him on the Travis Hunter stuff. Well, guess what? It came to fruition. Well, Brian Thomas Jr., we're over here at Jags headquarters. We're running up and down the stairs and trying to knock on the door of the war room and say, hey, trade up and get Travis Hunter. I want to see Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. But if you stay at 5, maybe Ashton Jeanty. I mean, you're an offensive guy. How dynamic, if you add a weapon on offense, can this Jacksonville Jaguars offense be? You got to be rooting for it a little bit, right?
I mean, that's above my pay grade. I'll be super excited for whoever they pick. I know they'll make the right choice. The right choice for the organization. I know they'll make the right choice because best as a team. So, I'm just super excited to see who they'll pick.
That's a very good political answer. So let me rephrase it a different way. If you're on one side and Travis Hunter's on the other side, my gosh, what will they do? How will they stop you, Brian?
I feel like that one will probably be unstoppable.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that was fun with Brian Thomas.
Got
At
after
the time, we're like, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. Now defenses are going to have to figure those two guys out. That's going to be interesting to watch. Again, speed.
I love it.
It's hard to, you can X's and O everybody. And now you have speed on both sides.
Listen, now I got De'Ami Brown where I think he should be. You know, him and Parker Washington working the slot, doing crossers, using their speed. I like that.
Absolutely. Hey, let's do this, okay? We've got a couple things still lined up before we get out of here at 10 o'clock, and then we've got our Action News Jacks at 10 on Fox 30 all the way until 11:30 with Fox 30 and CBS 47.
I'm sorry,
what?
Going
to catch up with James Gladstone
Gosh,
in just a couple of moments. We got Liam Cohen and Gladstone on the presser at 10 o'clock. Got a lot still going on, so let's take a
check
quick
my
time
agent
out.
on this one, man.
And Dan's working overtime today.
Holy Christ.
Overtime today. He didn't sign up for this.
This is a little much.
You're doing a great job, by the
I'm
way.
getting tired.
We'll be right back on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7
Grandpa needs a
Network.
nap.
Don't turn the lights out yet here at Everbank. Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School. Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon-Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Even better, to celebrate their 10-year anniversary, the team at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are hosting an open house May 1st. Learn about the array of procedures. There's also chances to win big prizes. Come look and feel your best with Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics today.
This is Action Sports Jacks, Jags Nation. Draft Night in Duval. Sponsored by Everbank. Advantage U.
Oh, you want me to talk over this Everbank Stadium shot as we get ready to do an interview with Jaguars GM James Gladstone. We've actually moved into the team room. So, Liv, ideally, I will send this back to Dan Hicken, and he will finish this show as we get set to interview James Gladstone. And once again, 10 o'clock, we'll have a live news conference at 10 o'clock on Fox 30 coming up. So we'll carry a bit of that live for you, for our listeners and viewers on Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. You'll be able to see that live on TV on Fox 30. We've got coverage all the way till 11:30. So big news, Travis Hunter, obviously the Jags trade up and get him at the number 2 pick. They give up next year's first rounder, the second rounder tomorrow. We'll see if other moves are made. But the big story, Travis Hunter, we think the best player in the draft. The Jags try to hit a home run. And Travis Hunter, wide receiver, cornerback, unicorn, best player in the draft is coming to your Jacksonville Jaguars. Dan, we'll send it back outside to you for now as we await James Gladstone, and we'll hopefully get a couple of questions on with him in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Brent. Listen, let me bring everybody up to date on what's going on in the draft because we haven't talked about it in a while. We're just about halfway through. The Falcons just picked a Georgia Bulldog, Jalen Walker, who had been rumored, the Jags with some interest all the way up at number 5. Interesting that the tight ends did not go as we thought they would. The Colts got a tight end. They got Tyler Warren, but he went 14th, okay? 13, Miami takes Kenneth Grant, the big defensive tackle from Michigan. So the Michigan defensive tackles went 5 to Cleveland and 13 to the Miami Dolphins. That is a heck of a defense right there. The Cowboys went O-line. They took Tyler Booker, the big dude from Alabama. And so offensive line still a premium. Michael Williams, another Georgia Bulldog, he went 11th overall. He's going out to San Francisco. And then the Bears took a tight end, but they didn't take Tyler Warren. They took Colston Loveland. So that will be and it will be fun to watch going forward. And then the Saints also did not take a quarterback. They took Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive lineman from Texas. So that brings you up to date on what's going on in the NFL draft. Of course, around here, everybody's talking about Travis Hunter as the pick and the big, bold move by the Jacksonville Jaguars going forward. Let's go around the AFC South and see exactly what's going on with the picks so far. As you know, the Titans got their quarterback. They took Cam Ward, so he'll be throwing hopefully some interceptions to Travis Hunter going forward in the future. The Colts haven't had a tight end go over 500 yards since Eric Ebron did it 8 years ago. The Texans don't pick till number 25. So the Jaguars were bold. They got Travis Hunter. They got a guy who's going to play two different positions. This is a game changer, folks, and we hope it is. And, again, I cannot tell you how many people in the league rave about this young man, about the special attributes that he has. You heard Jeff Lageman, who knows football, talk about the two most impressive guys he's ever seen on tape, quarterback Patrick Mahomes. And, again, it's easy to talk about Patrick Mahomes now. This was when he was coming out of college. Lageman loved him. He said Travis Hunter is the best athlete he's ever seen. Unbelievable body control. Certainly an exciting time. So the Jacksonville Jaguars get their man in Travis Hunter. The draft is continuing. Gosh, we're only halfway through. It started at 8 o'clock, so we got a long one. Also notice, I guess next up, the Steelers are picking at 21. I think that would be the area where you might see Shedeur Sanders, but you might not. And if he gets by there, then what? It's a free fall. And I'm going to say Shedeur Sanders probably did a smart thing staying at his home in Dallas, Texas, where he built a room for the draft, apparently, and named it Legendary. Legendary. So pretty interesting there as well going forward. So that's the gist of what happened. The Jaguars were rumored to be looking at a trade down with Cleveland. In the end, they traded down with Chicago. In the end, they traded up with Cleveland, and they got Travis Hunter. They had to give up a number 1 for next year. They had to give up number 36 this year. They have 9 picks left still, so they didn't lose any picks. They just have 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th going forward. So they do have some maneuverability if they want to move back up, if they want to stay where they're going to stay. So be interesting going forward. We got a lot more coverage coming up on the TV side of things. Appreciate you hanging out with us on the stream all night long. Fun covering the draft this way. Been a big night for Jacksonville. Big night. Shad Khan's got to be thumbs up. Fans got to be thumbs up. As somebody, my son told me, we've had a lot of bad picks through the years. Losing a pick here, losing a pick there to get a guy like Travis Hunter, so freaking what? And I kind of tend to agree with them going forward. So a good time and an exciting time here in Jacksonville. Travis Hunter, so happy to be drafted a Jacksonville Jaguar. Thanks for hanging out with us. The Cardinals are on the clock now. Lambeau Field, the site of the draft. There it is, historic Lambeau Field. You guys have a good night. Got much more coverage coming up on Action News Jax.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can get a free Connecticut reverse osmosis system with a purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jax are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajax.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajax.org.